Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, wherever you are tuning in and watching us. Welcome to day 3. Day 3 is the vitamin of energy, and we are going through the 5 days, which is the first steps, the baby steps, if you like, to becoming functionally selfish. So say hello, let me know where you're coming from, send me lots of love, let's get into this. I've loved the interaction that we've had so far in the first days, your questions, your comments, the answers you're doing to the home play is wonderful. So keep it up, really good work. So day one was refresh. You know, we had a chance to move from that place of struggle and worry and anxiety and into a place of ease and comfort. That's really what day 1 was about, that vitamin of refresh, and knowing that when we wake up in the morning and we are struggling, we are perhaps worrying about things or a little bit anxious, we can pop this little refresh button, this little pill, and remember the learnings from day 1. Hey, Warrior Jai, how are you? Good morning to you. And then you can pop this little refresh, vitamin, and move into a more place of ease and comfort with the tools and tricks that you learned from the day 1 workbook. Day 2 was about focus. And what did you learn? I'm curious. Let me know what you learned about day 2 rather than me going through it. For me, it's just a constant reminder that not to let external influences impact my thoughts, my behavior, the conversations I'm having, and I want to make sure that I focus on me. So it's good to have that, and that was a good lesson to learn and to refresh my memory as well. So refresh and focus have been high on my agenda this last few days as well. So today let's get into energy. So what is energy all about? What do I mean by energy? What I want to talk to you about really is setting strong energetic boundaries. One thing that really helps me to set and keep my boundaries is to have my daily why. And you might say, well, what's a daily why? What is it? Because when I set my daily why each morning, it helps me to manage my energetic boundaries and keep the energy flowing toward my intention. So do you know what a daily why is? If you do, pop some comments into the chat box here. If not, then I'll explain what I do and what I how my daily why works. So if you choose to, you can jump on this journey of having daily whys as well. So we all talk about, well, I'm saying all, I'm generalizing. The majority of people will talk about their big why, what is their purpose in life, what they want to do. And this is wonderful. And when you are really attuned, with or fully aligned, if you like, with your true north, you're on that path to fulfilling your why and living your purpose in life, the reason that you're here on this planet, if you like, having this earthside experience. It propels you forward in life when you are connected to it. But what I used to find is that sometimes it just felt far too far away. And so I would have distractions, frustration, overwhelm, procrastination, all of these things, because I thought I'm never going to get there, and all of these semi-negative thoughts would be floating around in my mind. So what I decided to do was have a daily why. Each morning when I get up, I remind myself why I'm doing what I'm doing, and just pick one thing that helps me get through the tasks that I have to get done that day. I actually do it generally for a week, and it's a very similar why, because normally I'm focusing on achieving one thing within that week. So for example, my why this morning, like it has been all week, is to, turn up as my best self and to give awesome value in this challenge. Why? Because I want others to see the potential and the possibilities are open to them as well of having functional selfishness in their lives, to bring that beautiful being to life even more than they are already within themselves. Because realistically, our families don't want some burnt out, dimly lit, tired, anxious version of you. They want the vibrancy, they want the life, the fun, the young girl, the young boy inside that's curious, that's playful, that's vulnerable. That's what I believe, and that's what keeps me going in terms of the daily why. Excuse me. Have a drink of my beautiful juice this morning. So I included my mantra for you for the day 3. And I'd like you to spend a moment to reflect on that and try it on. See if it fits. These mantras that I'm giving you each day are my own personal mantras, ones that I use myself, which I have no problem at all. You feel free to take and use. But you might find that something else resonates with you more to help you get over, whatever you're trying to do in your first step. So the first step today really is to try on that mantra. And the mantra is, everyone in my life loves, honors, and respects me. And everything in my life is a source of love, peace, and joy. I get goosebumps when I think about that, because this is what it is. I want people in my life, all my people love, honor, and respect me, and everything in my life is a source of love, peace, and joy. Because if that isn't, I'm not living that mantra, there's something wrong. I'm out of alignment somewhere. And that's a cue for me to dig into what it is and to do some searching, if you like. Because a boundary can only be set once you're free from fear of abandonment and fear of rejection. This is what often happens, is we don't set boundaries because we're frightened. There's the fear creeps in of being abandoned or rejected or having no one like you, all these sorts of thoughts and processes that go around. And this means that you must have a safe cushion of self-love around yourself in order to remain calm and connected within your own heart space, which is your truth. And I hope you can start to see that these first 5 steps, these vitamins, if you like, to becoming functionally selfish, will help you to create that safe cushion of self-love. If you stick with yourself, rather than abandoning yourself, which is what happens when we give up ourselves. Like I said the other day, I call it pimping myself out. If I do a lot of things for others and totally abandon me, then I'm pimping myself out for others' dreams and aspirations, and I don't care about my own. And I did that for so long in my life. That's no longer an issue. For me, I want to make sure that my dreams, my aspirations are taken care of as a priority. And what I find is that those of others are taken care of along the journey. So it's not that you don't do it. You do it even more from a more fulfilled and happier place within yourself. Because like I said, if you stick with yourself rather than abandoning yourself, you can withstand the arrows, if you like, withstand the arrows that are going to come inevitably, when you stand up for yourself by setting boundaries. Because the truth is, as an adult, you can't be abandoned. You can't care for yourself, whether you realize it or not. That's right, isn't it? You can't be abandoned. You have all that you need within you. So let that sink in. As you are more afraid of rejection and more fearful of abandonment than you are of maintaining your dignity, this means that you won't set boundaries. If this is what's happening with you, then you won't set boundaries, even though you perhaps tell yourself you will, you want to, and all of these beautiful aspirational words. The truth of it is that if you are more afraid of rejection and fearful of abandonment, you won't set boundaries. Because ultimately, setting a boundary is drawing a line. It's drawing a line between you and the other person. It's feeling comfortable expressing how you feel, about the actions or inactions of another person. It's about sharing your truth, even if your truth is uncomfortable or inconvenient for someone else. It's sharing your truth and setting limits. Limits on others, even at the risk of losing a friendship if that's what it takes. When you honor yourself and you stay true to yourself, then this is what sometimes happens. I've lost a lot of what I thought were friends, over the time that I've been doing this. But it's opened up doors for new beautiful friendships as well, and relationships. So I think everything is meant to happen in the way that it does. If the other person refuses to abide by your limits, you must be willing to walk away from anyone at any time. And that's a hard thing sometimes too, or a difficult thing. I try not to use the word hard. I still catch myself when I say it, because that's telling my subconscious mind then that it's impossible to do, and I don't want to do that. There's a way around everything. That's right, Jai. Everything has changed when I first learned to say no. Well done. That's right. Beautiful. It warms my heart to read those words. Because you simply must feel confident in your ability to make it your own. And you can, can't you? Sometimes it's necessary to set boundaries, for the things or the time, the things a person does not do. Your boundaries aren't always just for people who do bad things to you. You may also need to set boundaries for things that people do not do, but or they don't do what they should be doing, or what they say to do, they will do and don't follow through, all those sorts of things, especially in personal relationships. These can be things like silent treatment. It's one of my biggest things. Ignoring you, withdrawing, dismissing, devaluing, disconnection, minimizing your issues or requests, not being there for you in important times, not affirming when you need it, or you request it, not working out issues that are bothering you, not giving you credit, where credit is due, all of these things, withholding information, not taking your side, these are all things that in a relationship, whether it be an intimate relationship or a work relationship, need to be present. And you may love the person dearly and be committed in your relationship, but there still needs to be clear communication and boundaries around what is and what isn't acceptable for you. So this is a different type of boundary. Because when someone is doing is not doing the things that you need them to do, when they're not returning the love and respect that you're giving them, but instead allowing you to do all the giving and leaving big gaps in your relationships, you're being normal, naive, open, empathetic, and they're taking what you're giving and running away with it, not returning it in kind. And this happens so much. I found that people who do these things are really toxic people who are envious, who wish to manipulate and control you. And it's not, doesn't mean to say that they're narcissistic. I can talk a lot about that, a whole different topic. We won't go deep dive into the words, but they're people generally who want to manipulate and control, and often they don't know what they're doing. So there's no right or wrong or blame or good and bad here. It's just highlighting or bringing awareness to you. They could also be codependent, which is the opposite end of the scale. So they could also be codependent people who are just wrapped up so much in their own codependency, in their own codependent relationship, that your needs seem unimportant to them, which is generally the flip of a codependent, but it can happen. So the important thing to realize here is your needs matter. You matter. You deserve to be responded to. You deserve to be understood, to be heard, to be, given credit, to have a friend or a family member on your side, to fight for you, to be there for you. You deserve to have, people to go out of their way for you. You deserve to have your needs met by people in your life with whom you're in a relationship. There's nothing wrong with you feeling hurt that a friend is never there when you need him or her. There's nothing wrong with that. It's normal. There's nothing wrong with you, but there's something unequal in the relationship, and that's where it's up to you to stand up and to set a boundary. Trust this makes sense. You've got to set boundaries against people who are harming you by neglectful behaviors. It could happen during an abusive cycle, where someone is trying to be sweet, but they're also mean at the same time, or a devaluation, discarding phase of love bombing, where no matter who it is, your relationship to yourself takes care of you. It will. When your relationship is strong, you can overcome all of these things. Because people only do things on their terms. People who do this, who have this behavior, do things on their terms, and they will only meet your needs on a slim level, at their convenience, and only if it involves meeting their needs as well. When I realized it, it was like, wow, this is a game changer for me. So I really hope that you're having the same aha moment. Anything that falls out of the boundaries of of ease in meeting your needs is taken care of elsewhere, outside the relationship. Meanwhile, you're braving normal and giving real empathy down the drain. Basically, you're the one keeping the whole relationship alive. If this is what's happening to you, if these words are resonating, then this is what's happening. You're keeping the relationship alive because you're not being valued for your contribution in that relationship. So perhaps it's time to have a think about this energetic boundary and, come up with some things, or put your thoughts in here. How could things be different if you had the energetic boundary in place? Consider your current relationships. Are you feeling a weird gap, in how you're being attended to, perhaps? Do you feel hurt by disconnection? Are you frustrated that, perhaps they don't call you for weeks and then they pop up wanting to connect without addressing anything that's gone on in your life? It's like you're totally dismissed. It's all about them. Are you going overboard, keeping relationships alive just because you don't want to be neglected? You could go on and on here. We could write a book, on this sort of topic alone. I've got so much to say on it. But the important message is to set boundaries. And yes, it may be awkward, because if you're used to being neglected, you may not even realize it's happening. And that's part of my point, and my purpose here in these first 5 days is to bring you awareness. You have to get super in touch with your gut feelings, your intuition, and even know there's an issue. Your feelings will tell you when a boundary needs to be set. A boundary can be speaking up for yourself, saying, hey, I've noticed you're not here for me when I need you. That's not working for me anymore. Can you try giving more in this relationship? And that can be a big shock for the other person. So you have to pick the time and set the scene and say, hey, I'd love to talk to you about our relationship and where we're heading forward. It's a new year, new start, new chance to get things right and to take our relationship to a deeper level. Perhaps that's the conversation you'd like to start with. Or I don't like it, when you give me the silent treatment by not reaching out to me or returning my calls. Please stop, because it makes me feel uncomfortable. I can't be around you if you're giving me the silent treatment. Sometimes the short, sharp, to the point conversation works. It depends on the person that you are with and their different, the way of thinking that they have. The hard part is walking away from neglectful people, people who you thought loved you. And when you set boundaries and walk away, you realize that the love was very one-sided. It's not easy. There is no, like I say, one pill to fix it all. But when you're the one doing all the work and settling for brokenness, disconnection, and unfilled needs, that's when you discover that the neglectful person didn't really care enough about you to meet your needs. And that's when you have to ask yourself, have I really lost anything? What have I truly lost? That is a beautiful question to ask yourself. Jidal, you'd like to write that down in the comments here, that question to ask yourself, what have I truly lost? Or have I really lost anything? I think not. I think the answer is no. I think you gain self-respect when you walk away from people who are unwilling to engage in an equal, respectful way towards you. Yes, it hurts. Of course it hurts to lose people. There's a grieving process to go through. We have a grieving process. It doesn't necessarily have to be about death. It's the death of a relationship, not necessarily the ending of a life, that will trigger a grieving process. It hurts. But setting boundaries helps to keep you safe. It helps to build your honor and love and respect in yourself in a healthy way. And also having a love, care, and respect for the other person. It's beneficial and loving to yourself to stop giving, and getting nothing or crumbs in return. You are a special being. You deserve equal treatment. Use the energy that you used, to feel like a victim for this person's behavior to empower you to find and to open up more reciprocal relationships that are out there. You just have to stop putting up with neglect. And you may be reading this on the flip side and realizing, shit, I do that in my relationship. I don't listen. I'm a bit disconnected. I'm a bit dismissive. So the flip side could be happening here. It might not be you, the one that's on the receiving of this, but you might be thinking, oh my gosh, I do that in my relationship at times. I don't want to do that anymore. I want to have a deeper connection. So again, it's having a different conversation. It's setting a boundary, but it's also encouraging the other person to acknowledge whether they feel that you are neglecting them. It all comes down to how much you value the relationship that you have, the ones that you're feeling there are issues in, and what you want to do about it. Because I've got so much love for you all. You can do it. It's hard and it's challenging. It comes with frustration and sometimes heartbreak. When relationships end, it isn't easy. But I think honoring yourself and your own needs, if you're on this type of journey, you want to grow and you want to evolve, you want to change your experience, your results in life, then these things we have to do. It's part of the process. I'd just love to share with you an article that I wrote in our Facebook group quite a while ago now, probably a year and a half, 2 years ago maybe. You can search it in there, just search for boundaries if it resonates with you. But I think it's really relevant to the discussion that we're having right now. So I just wanted to share it. So I'm going to read it. So you see me looking at the screen, and this is what I'm doing. I'm just trying to find it before that. So codependency is a serious issue rooted in childhood conditioning that causes you to deny yourself and give away your power. A learned pattern of relating that leads to broken relationships and pain. You don't know where you begin and where the other person ends. You violate your own boundaries and the boundaries of others by trying to control their perception and treatment of you. Blending with others in a relationship and failing to maintain healthy boundaries and self-protective measures. This is a major problem that invites abuse, mistreatment, and disregard from others. The question is why and how do we do this? Whilst this may be nice to know, realizing this occurs is a different matter altogether, right? I think, having read an article in a book or on a Facebook page is one thing, but when you actually embody it and you start to realize, shit, do I do this too? Or is this happening to me? It's totally different. So giving too much in a relationship, being easy prey, if you will, to a narcissist or exploitive people. In short, you want to be treated like shit. Yes, it's a choice, right, to flush the toilet. It's a choice. Being a victim and not being a victim is a choice. Being in control of what happens to us, treated like shit, means you're doing it to yourself. Do you understand that? That's the biggest point that I want to make here. That you have control over everything you do. You are 100% responsible for the results that happen. You are. I am. I'm responsible for me. You simply must go inside and heal. Release the frozen emotions. Those that are suppressed and stuck. Uproot the negative core beliefs. Uncover our true self even more. That's the main answer. Recovery from codependency isn't an easy road. It's one that I myself am traveling. Digging deep to recover, personal wealth, worth, and value. Learning to respect myself even more every day. Have a drink. Stop putting others ahead of me. Start seeing myself as equal. This really is a relationship issue that simply must be healed over every level from inside out. There's no shortcut, and it often may seem like a lost cause, yet take it from me, there is hope for healing if you do the work. Don't ever give up. Don't ever give up, as all you're going to be doing is giving up on you. So today's mantra, shivers before I even say it. Everyone in my life loves, honors, and respects me, and everything in my life is a source of love, peace, and joy. If it isn't, it shouldn't be there, it gets kicked out. So post up your home play here for day 3. The home play is a little bit different to days 1 and 2, because once you've either decided to take on the energetic boundary that I have, or you've chosen to create your own, I'd like you to spend some time to reflect and then share in the group what it is that you believe this energetic boundary will, being in place, will give you. So have a beautiful day. I'm off to go and pull the crayfish pots very soon. See what we've got for our yummy dinner party on Friday. And I'll see you back here tomorrow. Same time, same bat channel for day number 4. And until then, I look forward to seeing your comments and home play in the group and the chat. And I'll be back in touch with you. Bye for now.